Hey everyone, this is Miss Noggle. I want to go through a few problems just to help you on your quiz tomorrow. Okay, the first one I want to start with is a proof just like this. The first thing we're going to do is look at our given. Our given says look at the picture. So I'm going to look for any type of marks. So I have these two congruent marks. So I need to say that those sides are congruent. So I'm going to start at the bottom and go to the top. So I would start with A, B, and it's a side. That's going to be congruent to CB. Okay. Why did I write that down? Because it was given. Okay. My other mark is right here, and it's saying that it's 90 degrees. So I have angle BDC is 90 degrees. And I know that's actually true. Well, let's go ahead and write given first. Okay. I know that's true on this side as well, okay, because that forms a line. Okay. So I can also write that B angle BD, sorry, that was a bad D. BDA is also 90 degrees, okay? And then I would say that is also given because it shows it in the picture. Okay. From there, okay, I see I have a side and an angle. Okay. So I just need to look for either another angle or another side. Okay. I see that I have this BD is going to be reflexive because it shares in both triangles. So if I look at BD and I want to make that congruent to BD because I followed that same side, okay, that's the same order, that's going to be reflexive. Okay. And at this point I have my side, I have another side, and I have an angle. Well, I notice that's an SS, two sides and an A, so my choices are either side angle side, or I need to look for HL. So for side angle side, I'm going to see if my angle is in between my two sides. Well, it's not. It would have to be up here if it was. For HL, I need a hypotenuse. Well, my 90 degrees points at my hypotenuse, and I have one of those. And a leg is one of the other sides, and I have one of those. So knowing HL, I can prove that my triangle ABD is congruent to triangle CBD. Okay? Making sure you understand this proof is super important for your quiz tomorrow. So go back, try it again, maybe go back to the very beginning and try it on your own, and then check your work. Okay? The next type of problem I want to look at is writing a congruent statement and why. Okay? So I want to show that the two triangles are congruent. So in this picture I have my yellow triangle, and then I have a green triangle. Okay? So for my yellow triangle, it was triangle A, B, D. So I went top, bottom, and then I went to the right. Okay? And then I went over. So down and to the left, or down and I turned. Okay? So I'm going to start at the top for my other one. So it'll be triangle C. I'm going to go down to D, and then I'm going to go over to B. Okay, matching up those letters, making sure you take the time, don't rush through it. Okay, order does matter. And then I need to decide how those two triangles are congruent. Okay, well, I see I have a side and I have a 90 degree. Okay, but I know, so that 90 degrees is an angle. I see the 90 degrees, so I could use HL. So I have an S and I have an angle. I either need to look for another side, another angle, or a hypotenuse. Okay. Well, I don't have the hypotenuse. The hypotenuse would be over on this side, and I don't know anything about that. So if I'm looking for another side, okay, I see down here that actually overlaps in my two triangles. So BD was going from the right in my yellow triangle is going from the outside over, and then DB is going the opposite way. So that's another side. Okay. And since that angle's in between those two sides, it is side, angle, side. Okay, so you will have to do this on the quiz. You're going to have to write the congruent statement, and you have to decide which of the properties you're using. Okay. So let's look at another one. Okay, here I have my yellow triangle and my green triangle. Okay, for my yellow triangle, it is triangle LNM. So if I write that out, I'm going to start with the one line, which would be triangle R. Okay, go to the middle, which is N, and then go to the last one, which is Q. Okay. And in this one, I see I have two sides. Okay, I don't have a third side, and so I'm looking for either a right angle or I'm looking for an angle. And I happen to know that these cross in an X formation, which means I have vertical angles. Since that vertical angle is in between the two sides, that gives me side, angle, side. Okay. With this triangle, I have a yellow triangle and I have a green triangle. Okay. Yellow triangle is going to be KJL, and that will match up with, so K is touching and it's on the one side, so in green that's going to be L. Okay, make sure you're taking the time to match those out. Then I went to the corner, which was M, and then I'm left with K. Okay, so matching up those letters, and then I see I have two sides, and I'm either looking for a side, an angle, or a hypotenuse and a leg. Well, since I don't have any right angles, I know that hypotenuse leg is out. And I see right here that they share a side right here, so that would mean we'd have reflexive or symmetric. Okay, which means that I will have a third side, which would give me side, side, side. Okay, and then our last one, we have a yellow triangle and a green triangle. And this one's a little bit easier because they are broken apart. Okay. I have triangle ABC. Okay, so A had that one arc on it, so that will be D in the other triangle. B didn't have anything, so that would be F. And C had the two marks, so that would be E. Okay, and then I see I have two angles and a side in between. So if I have that side in between the two angles, that means we will have side, angle, side. Okay. Doing this process is on the quiz, so I need you to make sure you go through these, rewind, rewatch it, and see if you can do it on your own without the answers. Then you can always double check. The last one I want to go through is another proof. Okay. This one, just like always, we're going to start with our givens. So we're going to say BC is parallel to AD, and that's what those arrows mean. Okay, so in class we highlighted those, and then we drew our transversal. Okay, and this helped us see if we used corresponding, same side interior, alternate exterior, or alternate interior. Okay, I'm going to outline my triangles. I see that this one and this one are in my two triangles. So looking at those two types of angles, I see that they are going to be alternate interior. Hint, it's almost always alternate interior when you are doing a proof. Okay. So I had my parallel lines. I said given. Okay. Now I need to name those angles I just drew. Okay. So I have angle DAC is congruent to angle BCA. Okay. They're congruent because they are alternate interior angles. Okay. So that gave me an angle. I had another given, so let's go ahead and write that one. I had BC is congruent to AD. BC was on the top and AD was on the bottom. Okay, again, that was given. So I have an angle and a side. So now I just have to look for one other piece of information. I happen to see some reflexive things happening in this middle part. Okay, they share this side, this AC. I just need to decide if it's AC and AC or if it's AC and CA. So I like to color my triangles. You know this by now. So I'm going to do a yellow triangle, and I'm going to do a red triangle. Okay. In my yellow triangle, we'll do that one first. I'm going to do CA because it starts with that curve. Oops, let's go back to black. So CA, okay, it starts with a curve, so in my red triangle I need to start with the curve. That's AC, okay. Since those letters are flip-flopped, that's going to be my symmetric property. Okay. And now I have enough information to prove my triangles. So triangle ABC is going to be congruent to triangle CDA, and that's because of, let's see, I have a side, an angle, and a side, and there's no right angles, so that's going to be side, angle, side, but that wasn't my goal, okay? I needed to prove that angle B is congruent to angle D, so I can go ahead and say that now. Angle B is congruent to angle D. And remember, this is our special 5 letters. After, I have to show that the angles are congruent first. So then it's going to be CPC, TC. Okay? Again, go back through to where this is blank and see if you can do it on your own.